They knew the hill by shadow shape, the ridge by sound. Their feet recalled each turn before the sun went down. The wind through stones became a form they felt, then drew, not with a mark, but how they moved the body through. Each path they walked became a shape inside the head, a memory of line and turn the elders led. To show a child they walked it slow and made it bend. The land became the tool they used to think and send. The path once known became a way to show the past. Its curve held time, its steps recalled in mental tracks. To learn that trail was not to mimic but to store, to train the eye, the leg, the breath to trace its core. A shape once walked could later grow to teach again, across the hill, across the flat, across the fen. And when two met who'd learned the walk the same old way, they saw the ground as one, though each had gone astray. But those who came long after found the line and called it myth or beast or star-engraven sign. They guessed its meaning, named its head, its tail, its tooth, yet missed the feet that made it real, that proved its truth. They told of rites and gods and painted dreams in red and filled the quiet bones with voices of the dead. They saw the curl of stone and named it sacred fire, yet never asked what hands had shaped that simple spire. They thought the mind began in dreams and ended speech, that maps required words and numbers built the reach. They could not see that breath and walk and ridge and run could shape a world of thought beneath the rising sun. But we have known that signs can rise without a pen, that scale can hold when shared by more than 1 or 10. That form returns when taught by limb and laid by pace. And what we draw, we carry first across the face. The mark is not the start, it comes when path is done, when every step has learned the angle of the sun. The curve is not imagined, but recalled by feet, and made again when two old edges cleanly meet. A ridge may start the form, a river form the spine. The land provides the first half of the sacred line. And once the match is found, the rest flows out by thought. The turns rehearsed, the joints aligned, the legs well taught. The line we walk is not the line we merely see. It's one that lives in us and fits the earth to be. And when we trace it side by side with eyes half closed, we join the shape we learned and make it newly posed. If river backs were smooth, we drew the back as such. If mountains cut the sky, the line would crack to touch. Each feature shaped the mark, but not by dream or myth. The land itself was in the line and spoke forthwith. The head we added only where the space allowed, a limb where flatness yielded, never thick nor proud. The part we kept was what the land could bear in line, so each new shape was both our own and also thine. The sun would show the way. Some maps began with dawn. The east became the top, the light that walked upon. But others faced the end, where westward fire turned red. The end of path, the place to rest, to mark the dead. To find the way, we turned the rock until it matched. We held the piece against the hill until it latched. We looked for bends in line, in ridge, in route and flow, and found the mark where only steady walkers go. We scaled the curve by memory and counted pace. A figure large or small would hold its inner grace, and when it fit, it proved itself by shape alone. A logic not in mind, but in the knee and bone. To teach the walk, we walked as one, with roles assigned. Some called the turns, some checked the edge, the rest aligned. We built the path again in flesh before the stone. So every mark recalled a thing the group had known. The path would live as long as feet could find its trace, each time remade anew, but held in just one place. A single figure passed from hand to limb to land. No tool had drawn it, only foot and voice and hand. When many walked apart but held the form in mind, their marks would meet, their limbs converge, their angles bind. The ridge, the stream, the valley, each one held a part. And by those parts, the figure lived with sudden start. So many marks were made, and all were made the same, by ones who walked the form and never named its name. Across the world, the shape returned where paths could teach. A body carved by steps alone could always reach. To know a thing was not to speak, but walk it right, to feel the slope, to match the bend, to judge the height. And those who did not know would call it wild or lost. But we could find the truth by step and count its cost. This was not art. It was the shape the body gave, a system built by breath, by hunger, by the cave. The line survives because the earth and thought agree. That knowledge walks and drawing starts below the knee.